So something I really hate discussing in my YouTube videos is the sale price of an item, because if you watch that video months after it's been uploaded, chances are the pricing is different and that sale has come and gone. But I feel differently about DJI's Power 500 and their Power 1000, as these power stations have been on some sort of discount through DJI's website since they came out a little over 7 months ago. So right now, directly through DJI's website, you can get one of the Power 1000s for a little over 50% off, down from the original $999 price point. The smaller Power 500, that is about half the size with half the battery capacity and half the power output, is also discounted directly from DJI if you think that size power station is right for you. You can try bouncing around the internet to find some other deals, like Amazon, which has the Power 1000 discounted even lower for their Black Friday deal, and no matter where you look, you might find some other combos with their solar panels and other charging accessories at a steeply discounted price. Now again, I hate talking sales prices because after the holiday season, that price is going to go up, but just know that DJI is always running some sort of discount on their power station products, so be sure to check out their own website, Amazon, or other reputable third-party vendors to see who's got the best price at the time that you're looking to purchase. Now, as you can see on the table, I've got plenty of experience with different power stations from different companies. Some are smaller, some are much bigger that I can't even fit here on the table. But every day that I go out and I need a portable power station, I end up reaching for the same one over all of these that I have, and it's the Power 1000 from DJI. So you might think to yourself, why on earth would you need a battery this big on a routine basis? And it's pretty self-explanatory. I fly drones all day, every day, which chews up a lot of power, and I need to be able to replenish those batteries on the go from a high power energy source. It's nice that most of the modern drone batteries can be charged with a USB-C cable, but most of them require a higher wattage to charge at their maximum speed, so you would need a wall brick that can output a high wattage. Trying to trickle charge off of a low wattage brick using a small battery bank, or even trying to charge off of a laptop, for example, would take forever to fill the battery. Trust me, I've tried when I was in a pinch and it was no fun. This means if you run out of power for your drone midway through the day, you need to find an AC outlet and you're tied down to that location while your batteries charge. Yes, I know it's a first world problem, but if you do this for work, if this is your profession and you find that you can't get all of your jobs done during the day on the batteries that you have for your drone, then having a power station like the Power 1000 is going to be great, because you can carry around a ton of energy and you can fully charge all of your devices and batteries from the high output USB-C ports and the AC outlets. A power station like this also becomes less of a luxury and more of a necessity when I'm flying a larger drone like the Inspire 3, which uses two big batteries for one flight and needs to be plugged in to this charging hub that requires an AC outlet. No charging these batteries over USB-C. This hub charges two batteries at once and reaches a peak of 476 watts. So no matter which power station you have, the Power 1000 or Power 500, you'll be able to supply power at the full speed the hub needs, with plenty of room to spare to power other things. Now, I've brought this up on the channel in the past, but I recently just wrapped a shoot with Cooper Hospital where I filmed their helicopter air to air with my Inspire 3 as it landed and took off from one of their new locations down near the shore. Now, as you can imagine, I did a ton of hovering during the day. I had to wait for the helicopter to come in and land. I then had to wait for it to sit on the pad. I then had to wait for it to take off and then loop around and come back and do the same thing again. So a lot of my day was spent hovering. Therefore, I was burning through batteries like crazy, and the Power 1000 was great to have so I could keep my Inspire 3 batteries charged for the next flight. On the topic of flying drones, the Power 1000 has two SDC ports and the Power 500 has one SDC port that allows you to use a special cable made by DJI to charge your drone batteries faster. The fast charge cable that I've been using the most connects directly to the battery that is used with the Air 3 and Air 3S and makes a considerable difference in how fast I can charge one of these batteries. For example, when using a USB-C cable directly plugged into the drone, the Air 3S receives power at a maximum of 63 watts and takes a total of an hour and 6 minutes to charge from 10% to 100%. Using that fast charge cable plugged into the SDC port, however, yields a maximum charge speed of 123 watts and takes only 48 minutes to charge from 10% to 100%, which is considerably faster. There's also a fast charge cable available for these drones listed on the screen, and I've included the maximum charge speed and watts and the time it takes to charge each battery on the screen for your reference. If you're a power user when it comes to flying drones and you need a portable power station, there isn't a better option than the Power 1000 to get your drone batteries charged fast to get you back in the air. I also want to quickly point out that two of the drones that DJI makes these fast charge cables for use a dual battery system. So the Inspire 3 and the M30 series both use two batteries for one flight, which gives you longer flight time for those larger drones and greater redundancy in case one of those batteries fails. Anyway, you've got two SDC ports, so therefore you can buy two of those fast charge cables and charge two batteries for one single flight at that increased rate, which gets you back in the air faster. Now, quite frankly, I'm a little bit lazy, so I've just become accustomed to using the battery charging hub through the AC outlets because it regulates multiple batteries at once. But if you need to get back in the air at an increased rate, using the SDC port is going to get you up in the air faster. Now, since we're on the topic of charging drones, here's a chart that I shared in my review video of the Power 500 and Power 1000 of the amounts of charges that you can expect to get with the batteries for each of these drones on one full charge of the respective power station. Basically, this is showing you how many extra flights you can get if you have one of these batteries with you. Now, let's do some quick math. Look at the Air 3 and 3S, for example, which can get 8 extra flights on the smaller Power 500 or 16 extra flights on the Power 1000. If you wanted to buy 8 extra batteries at $159 each, it would cost you a total of $1,272 before tax, which is more than the power station costs. 16 batteries, on the other hand, would cost you $2,544, which is way more expensive than buying one of these power stations. Now, don't forget, you can use this to power up other devices too, like laptops, tablets, and your remotes, so allocating your money to buying a power station instead of a dozen or so batteries is a much smarter choice. Okay, so I got a little ahead of myself there talking about drones, but I should probably tell you what the Power 1000 and Power 500 are even capable of. So there's pretty much no weak points to these batteries. They have enough capacity to last all day long, or at least until you can find an outlet to quickly top them up, and the input and output power is blazing fast, so the actual power station can charge fast from the wall, and it can handle just about anything you'd want to power on the go. The port selection is also great with different interface options, so you can charge off of USB, there's a pair of AC outlets, and of course, my favorite, the SDC port that fast charges my drone batteries. Also, something to remember, this power station can be used for anything that needs power. I've talked so much about drones in this video, but it can charge and power other things like your one wheel or other electric rideable, laptops, tablets, CPAP machines, air pumps, power tools. Again, anything that needs power, this thing can handle. Now remember, as I mentioned and shared with you, there are plenty of other power stations available out there from different companies and different sizes. So with that said, how does the Power 1000 stack up against what else is available on the market? Well, why don't we compare it to EcoFlow's Delta 2, which is in the same weight class, meaning these power stations are pound for pound very similar. If we refer to the specs, it's really hard to choose a winner as they weigh the same, have the same battery capacity, and the input and output power is so similar, but does lean in favor of DJI's Power 1000 with a higher peak output across all of the AC outlets for those times where you have a power surge or you simply need to plug in heavier equipment. With these power stations being so similar, I think it actually comes down to one choice that's really going to sway your opinion on which one you choose based on your personal preference. For the Delta 2, it's the fact that there is 6 total AC outlets compared to the 2 AC outlets on the Power 1000. That's a pretty considerable difference that lets you plug in way more at one time if you've got multiple devices or chargers that need AC power and can't be used over AC. Sure, you could probably plug in a power strip to the Power 1000 if you needed more AC outlets, but that's just one extra step that you wouldn't need to take with the Delta 2. Now, switching gears, the Power 1000's unique feature should be fairly obvious at this point, and that is the SDC port that lets you charge your drones faster. I definitely don't need to speak on this anymore, as I've covered it way more than I probably should have in this video. And at the end of the day, we're just talking about big batteries, and there's a lot of big batteries to be purchased out there. So I think it really just comes down to personal preference. Which of these batteries is going to suit your needs the best? I think the first thing you need to look at when purchasing a battery is size. What I would consider these two power stations to be is like middle of the road. They're a little bit heavier, but they can pack a ton of power, and the output power is off the charts. But some people might not need this. Some people might go with the smaller Power 500 because it's a lot more lightweight, it's easy to bring with them on the daily, and it provides enough power for what they need. Now, some people might be on the other end of the spectrum and need even more power, so they'll go with something that's even larger, like the Anker F3800 that I reviewed. That's literally half the size of my body. So it's definitely not a one-size-fits-all scenario. There is plenty of great power stations out there, but it's up to you to do the homework to figure out which is going to suit your needs best. Do you want something small? Do you want something medium? Do you want something large? Do you want something that has more AC outlets like the Delta 2? Do you want something like the Power 500 or 1000 that has the SDC port to charge your drones faster? Again, it's going to all come down to your use case. Anyway, be sure to stay tuned here on the channel because I'm going to be reviewing more power stations as they come out to see how this technology evolves, which I'm kind of interested in. Like, they're big batteries. What more can we get? But I'm sure that these companies are going to find new ways to innovate, like being able to charge these things in 10 minutes. That'd be crazy. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I'll talk to you later. Peace.